So I think this will be my last video in a few days. I'm saying that because I don't really see like anything interesting going on in the NBA apart from what just happened. The Team USA just had some changes onto it, and I want to talk to them. They got rid of Kawhi Leonard. Not got rid of him. He actually opted out for playing for Team USA, probably for a variety of reasons. Since Kawhi is not the most reliable, he has health issues which have spanned him basically his entire career, except maybe his time with the Raptors, but that was only a 1 year partnership. And with the Clippers, especially, he's had many issues which he's never been able to overcome. Kawhi was actually one of the players which most surprised me going to Team USA. I honestly thought that him and the way that he played going into that roster was going to be something that was going to change a lot of things for the USA in terms of their defense, in terms of their leadership, and in terms of just having a guy who is willing to do anything to win. Like Kawhi is obviously a more silent guy, but on the court he's a superstar, and he is one of the better players in the entire NBA and in NBA history. Two-time Finals MVP, historically clutch, and just one of those guys that you want on your side of the pitch, not of the pitch, of the court, when you're in a clutch game. Now, with that being said, Kawhi is also very unreliable, and I think that he'd probably join Team USA because he looked at it as an opportunity to play with the best players in the world. The only problem is that I don't think he liked his role inside of the Team USA. I am assuming, by the way, because I will not tell you that I know why he opted out. It could have been family, it could have been personal reasons, it could have been something that maybe nobody knows except for him. But I do know that he did. And him opting out represents a kind of shift in Team USA, as Kawhi is such an impactful piece that it kind of switches how they're going to play completely. Apart from Kawhi, they were able to get Derrick White to join the roster. Even though there were some better candidates, I do think that they wanted Derrick White because they realized probably too late that they had too many stars and they needed more role players. Apart from that, I think Kawhi probably realized, and the reason why he had all of this, insecurity with what he was doing and all of this fluctuation, like between him participating and them just randomly saying, no, I'm out. I think it was mostly due with the fact that he was not going to be given a big role on this team. The starting shooting guard role was really Kawhi's role in this roster. If we're being honest, Kawhi wasn't going to take the starting spot from LeBron. As we know, the camp members voted for LeBron as the best player there. The coaches love LeBron, and he's won the Olympics like 3 times or 2 times. And he's the guy, he's the big dog, he's LeBron. Like him, Steph, and KD are the big dogs of the Olympics. And there's no fighting against the fact that you are not taking Steph, LeBron, or KD off that team. The only problem with Steph, LeBron, and KD is that two of those guys play the same position as you do. And what I mean by that is like Steph and Kawhi don't play the same position. But LeBron, KD, and Kawhi play the exact same position, which is small forward. And Kawhi normally will upgrade either to a power forward or a shooting guard, depending on his role on certain teams. The only problem with this is that they were not even considering him as the best or second best shooting guard. Because Kawhi, due to Paul George and the way that he's affected the Clippers, has not been looked at as a shooting guard ever since his times maybe in San Antonio. The problem now is that Kawhi left, and Kawhi leaving is obviously a big hit, but I do think that for both parties it actually does better. For Team USA, as I said, as long as the starting 5 or the starting 7 do not leave, they're good. They have enough higher power to beat any other team which is thrown at them. The only thing that I will say is that they needed a guy like Derrick White on the team. As much as I did think that Jaylen Brown deserved it the best, I do think that Derrick White was the best fit for this team. And a team with so many egos, so many personalities, so many different players, and so many different styles of play, you need a guy who can just come on this team and say, I will do whatever it takes for me to get on the court and for us to win. And that I feel like is something that's priceless. Derrick White for the Celtics, for the Spurs, and now for Team USA is going to be able to just provide anything that they need. And that's the way that he plays. He provides defense, great defense, and especially perimeter defense, which Team USA was honestly kind of lacking in their starting lineup. Even though I do not think that Derrick White is going to start, I do think that he's going to get a good amount of minutes. Then he's also going to be able to provide one of the steadiest three-point shots in the league and one of the best hustlers out there. And he's going to be able to provide all of the intangibles that you would want from a player of his caliber. You want a guy like that to be consistently there. You want a guy like that to not be injury prone. And you want a guy like that to go out there and not think that he's the star of the show. And that's a big reason why I think they did not pick Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, as much as he is amazing and as much as I think he could play in Team USA, I don't think he could do it without some type of ego involved, which is good. He's a superstar, and superstars need to have ego to succeed because that's just how it works. When you're a superstar, you need to believe that you're better than everybody else so that you could perform better than everybody else. Even if you have some humility and you could say that someone is better than you, you need to believe at least that you need to have enough belief in your abilities to be able to say, hey, I'm one of the best players in the world. I'm going out there to kill. But with Jaylen Brown, he just got finished with an Eastern Conference Finals MVP and Finals MVP campaign. Well deserving in my opinion, but he is not the person who they need for this team. They don't need more offense. His defense is great, but let's face it, he is much better off, or at least Team USA is much better off getting more defenders and more space and more spacing than getting more superstars. And this is why I think that this Team USA is built different than the other ones. In previous seasons, Team USA has put all of their focus on just getting as many star players as possible, put them on the same roster, and let's let it rock. I feel like this season they're actually focusing, well, not this season, but these Olympics, they're actually going to focus on making sure of getting the right pieces, the right players, and the right team to actually win. As much as I do think that the Stars are great, they get tired like everybody else. And when you need them in the fourth quarter, who's going to come in to sub in for them? Yes, we have Tyrese. He doesn't play any defense. But now we have Derrick White as the shooting guard, and he has spacing and defense. Then you have a guy, maybe like Devin Booker, maybe Anthony Edwards, who knows, who can lead the pack, be the leader, or at least be 1A, 1B with whoever else is on that roster. For power forward, you normally would have Bam, get a lot of rebounds, set a lot of screens, do a lot of big man stuff, and Bam is honestly amazing, and so pairing him up with other defensively oriented players would be well. And in the center position, you either have AD or Joel Embiid, and that is honestly a scary big man duo, which we know could break the league. So for this reason, I do believe that it is better for Kawhi to leave Team USA. I don't think that if they would have not done this, then they would have been in a bad spot. I obviously liked more the team when they had Kawhi, but I do think that for his health, it is much smarter for Kawhi to just say, like, hey, let's not go too hard on my body because I have to be ready come playoff time, and I'm never ready come playoff time, so let me not play in the Olympics. Apart from that, that's what I think about this move. I do think that Kawhi, it had to do with other reasons. I do not think it was entirely basketball related. Maybe some family stuff, maybe some personal stuff, because we all know that Kawhi does not share a lot, but we know that there's definitely something that could be happening behind the scenes. And for that reason, I don't want to make any assumptions, but I do think that they handled it effectively.